Hello and welcome to Sunshine Haze. This is Aja A. And for those of you, for those of you that watch my channel, you know I'm a little late on my tarot forecast, and I'm so sorry to everybody for not getting out those new moon in Taurus forecasts. Excuse me, y'all. I have allergies, and did I take my allergy medicine yet? I don't think I did. Yeah, I didn't get those new moon and Taurus videos out. It's because life came at me pretty fast. So I did want to get something out to you guys for this lunar cycle. So I decided instead to do a full moon in Sagittarius forecast for you. So we're not going to be looking at, excuse me, y'all. We're not going to be looking at, the whole month period, but we'll be looking at the next couple of weeks. And because we're dealing with the full moon, be looking at, some release and things being illuminated for us. If you want a little bit more information on what the full moon in Sagittarius, what that energy has in store for us as well, go on and check out my video on it. I have that down in the description box below for you guys. And before we get started, this video is for Virgo sun, Virgo moon, or Virgo rising. So if you feel like what I'm saying in here is not resonating with you, definitely go on and check out your moon or rising sign. And I do have a link to a playlist with those videos down below as well. Okay, guys. Excuse me. All right, so as I said, we are going to be looking at the full moon in Sagittarius. Typical, what do I do? A little 5-card spread, but a little different from my sorry, I thought I ran out of space. A little different from my new moon forecast. We're going to be looking at, of course, the energy for these next couple of weeks for you guys, Virgo. Going to be looking at something being illuminated for you, any opportunities coming in for you guys, since we're dealing with Sagittarius, adventures that you need to embark on, and also going to be looking at some release. And since we are dealing with Sagittarius, we're going to be looking at restrictions, any release coming up and things that we've been restricted from doing, anything that's been, causing an obstacle for us, creating an obstacle for us. And then, as I always do, we'll do a little soul message card. So message to your higher self, spirit message, whatever you want to call it. All right, what is in store for Virgo sun, Virgo moon, and Virgo rising for these next couple of weeks? What does this full moon in Sagittarius have in store for my Virgos? Good. All right, let's go on and cut the deck. Cut the deck again. All right. Ooh, okay. And Virgo. All right. Ooh, okay. Interesting. I will go through all of these cards one at a time. So just bear with me. Okay. The first card that y'all have in your spread, Virgo, is the Empress. And this is coming up in the position of what is the energy for you for this for these next couple of weeks, closing out this Taurus lunar cycle, coming off of the full moon in Sagittarius. So you've got the Empress card, and that is one of the major cards. So this is going to be a big theme for you during this time, okay, Virgo? Whenever I see the Empress card, it just automatically gives me a message of healing the self, healing the heart, healing the soul. This is a card with a lot of nurturing energy. And this, as I would say, talking about healing, this is a card that is also associated with love. So this energy for you guys, Virgo, during these next couple of weeks, which is also, pretty interesting because we're dealing with the full moon. And as you know, full moons tend to come in with a lot of emotions often. So during this time, Virgo, it's looking like these next couple of weeks, the energy for you is going to really be focused on healing yourself, and whatever that may mean for you. So whether that means, doing something active, or that means writing something out, or, talking to people, or meditating, whatever you do that brings you to a space of being in peace, that's going to be very strong for you coming in during this time. And if you watch that full moon video, you know that this moon is in a karmic degree. It's in 8 degrees, and that it's also, you know, it's falling on, even though it falls on the 29th, that breaks down to the master number of 11, which has everything to do with creation and creativity and healing. So this is just kind of, this card coming up is just kind of saying this is a very important time for you, Virgo, because because we're in an earth lunar season, although we're closing out with the fire moon, because we're in an earth lunar season, this is saying that this is a very important time for you to be working on yourself. This is time for you to heal yourself. This is time to get yourself into a place to where you feel comfortable, where you feel whole, where you feel complete, where you feel happy and positive, so that you can start to, you know, take growth. All right. What do I have coming up for you in the energies that could be crossing you during this time? This is one of my least favorite cards. This is the 8 of Swords. So the Swords has to do with the our mental. The Sword suit is the air element. So when this card comes up, the first message that I always get from it is just a sense of feeling trapped, a sense of feeling like afraid to move forward or afraid to move in any kind of direction. If you look at the card, you've got this butterfly. You've got this butterfly and this cocoon, which is interesting, wrapped within itself. So like you've already, you know, developed, or you're already coming into this energy, but for some reason during these next couple of weeks, dealing with the release of whatever it is that is blocking you from this, you're feeling like those things can cause a lot of problems. So it's almost like you possibly either are going to be feeling like you don't have the time, or you don't have the space, or you just don't have any opportunity to do this work for yourself, or you're going to be feeling like whatever it is that you need to work on are things that you just don't necessarily want to deal with because they cause you a lot of, you know, frustration, a lot of stress, a lot of pain. With that being said, what I will say to you, Virgo, is, you know, the only way out of the bottom is up. So you can't even begin to imagine yourself in a more positive place if you are actively telling yourself that you're not going to work through or do whatever it is that you need to do to remove the blockages from your life. So just keep that in mind, Virgo. You guys are an earth sign. Earth signs tend to be, you know, very stuck in their ways, a little stubborn. So with that being said, you know, Virgo, during this time, you can't ground yourself in the things that you no longer need. You can't just stop and stay here. You've actually got to figure out how to clear those thoughts, deal with those thoughts one by one, and stop hanging on by a thread to this other, which is a negative thought of, you know, I can remain in this place. You've got to deal with those things. You've actually got to come out of yourself, deal with those things so that you can get to this point, okay? Excuse me, let me grab a drink. I was trying to talk through that card like, please don't clear your throat again, girl. Like, just make it through the card. Okay. Coming up in the position of what's being illuminated, opportunities that could possibly be coming in for you, adventures that you need to take. You've got one of my aw shit cards. You actually, most of your spread, Virgo, and I'm sorry to say this, but if you watch my videos, you know that I like to keep it real. I think that honesty is the best policy, and the real messages are the ones that I'm supposed to be communicating to y'all. So if you don't like the real, I'm gonna just say go on and click out of the video right now. But I try to keep the messages very honest with these cards because I do believe that the honest messages are what will help people. So you've got one of my shit cards. That is the 5 of Wands. It's not the worst. It's actually probably, like, for me, the most subtle of the wild cards. This is coming up in a position of being what is being illuminated. What are you now seeing? What is clear to you now? And you've got a Wands card coming up in that position, and for that you've got the 5 of Wands. And when this card comes up, it's a card pointing to a sense of feeling scattered with the things that you're devoting your energy to, a sense of being lost, a sense of lacking focus. being distracted. So when this card comes up, it actually points to whatever is going on, although it may have manifested physically, like you may have a lot of stuff going on. This is saying that whatever is causing all of this chaos, all of this scatterbrain, whatever you've got going on here is actually coming from within. So that goes back into this Eight of Swords here, saying all those things that you know you need to work through, that you need to work on, they are probably manifesting physically, and you're probably devoting your energy to a whole bunch of things. You've probably got a project here, a person here, you know, a thought here that's taking up a lot of your time, another project over here, and then thoughts about, you know, what's going on over here. You're putting a lot of time and energy into all these different things, and that's because you've got all these other things on your mind that are causing you a little bit of stress. So what is being shown to you during this time is going to say, hey, these are the things that are causing you all of this chaos. These are the things that you need to work through. That's actually going to come in and help you through this obstacle that is this sense of feeling trapped, this sense of feeling stuck. So you will be able to get into that Empress energy, okay? The next card that I have coming up for you, Virgo, is another Wands card. And this is another one of my all shit cards. I'm typically not a fan of the 5 cards, but then I believe in the Wands and the sword suit. I don't care for the 10 cards either. And this is why. This is coming up in the position of release, coming up in the position of what is restricting you. What is restricting you that needs to be released, or what is restricting you that you're about to release, and you've got the 10 of Wands. So this ties very, very closely into these energies that I was just talking about, that 5 of Wands and that 8 of Swords. So because you've got all of this energy scattered all over the place, you've got, you know, time going into, an effort going into all of these things, and you're for some reason either afraid or unwilling to start, you know, attacking the problem and working through it, you now have the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands is just like a more intense 5 of Wands. You've got everything scattered over here. All of that scatter, once you get to the 10, becomes burdens and blockages. It's like it piles up and it piles up and it piles up and it all goes all over the place, and then it all comes back together, and it's just like, oh, now I'm buried under all of these sticks. So having this energy resonating with you during these next couple of weeks, Virgo, is just saying that this full moon is going to be very powerful for you. This is just saying that this is a time where you're going to be shown the things that you need to work on, work out, and work through. And because it's a full moon and it's, you know, it's only a time span of 2 weeks, this shit's probably going to happen quickly. So while you're getting all of this information, it's going to bring you probably most likely to a point to where you just feel heavy. And this isn't to say that your life is going to be chaotic. This may just be on a spiritual level. Like you just may feel very heavy, very stuck, very stagnant. That's not to say that you're not going to work through this, but this is to say that, you know, this energy from the full moon, this release and this illuminating these things that you need to work on, it's very important. And with the important things, especially when we're releasing stuff, it comes up, and it comes up in emotional ways. It comes up in action. So this is just saying, like, be mindful that you may come into that point of feeling that way. But as I say in all of my videos, everything is divine timing. And when you have these kind of, you know, negative cards, it just points to whatever is going on is having to happen so that you can come into that place of positivity, okay? You've got this Empress energy, Virgo, and this is a very, very positive energy, a very loving energy, a very calm energy as well. And Virgos, you tend to have a calm temperament for the most part anyway, so you know, these cards coming up are saying, like, it's time for you to get back to yourself, to your true self. And in order to do that, you've got some work to do. All right, Virgo? All right. So the last card that I have coming up in the spread for you is in your soul message, you know, the spirit message to your higher self. And this is the 7 of Swords. This isn't necessarily one of my aw shit cards, but it is one of my cards that is kind of like, you know, take heed to this warning. And take heed to this advice. Let me not say warning. This is a card that, again, we're dealing with the sword suit, which has to do with our mental. And I did want to, the wands, y'all, it resonates with the fire element. And that is all about action, all about, you know, physicality and stuff. So that's why I was saying, like, these things, these thoughts are probably going to manifest physically, and you're going to have your energy devoted to a bunch of stuff, which is going to cause, you know, make you feel like you're very blocked, very burdened. But anyways, back to the Seven of Swords. So two things for this card. The first message that I want to tell y'all is that because this is coming up under this crossing energy of the Eight of Swords, and as you see, they're right next to each other in the deck, right? What I want to say is that, Virgo, there may be something that you actually have you know what it is that you need to work through, and it may be something that you're not ready to deal with yet. And so this coming up in your soul message position is saying, hey, whatever that is, Virgo, guess what? It's time, whether you want to deal with it or not. It's going to come up for you. It's going to come up for you spiritually, mentally, physically, whatever, and you're going to have to deal with it. This card is saying, you know what it is, so instead of, you know, faking the funk, fighting the funk, how about you just go on and start working on it now? Okay? And the other message for this card, a little more on a positive side, is saying, this is a card of self-interest. So this card is also saying, like, this is a time for you, Virgo, to really work on yourself. It's a time for you to take a step back from everything that you're involved in, all the help that you provide to others, everything that you're devoting your energy to. And it's time for you to really work on yourself. It's time for you to heal yourself, Virgo. Okay, like I said, this moon is in a karmic degree. It's in 8 degrees. That is the karmic number. That is the infinity number. So that is the number of, you know, cycles, life cycles. So, you know, it's time for some sort of change. It's time for some sort of release in your life, Virgo. And it may be something that you're not really willing or feel like you are ready to deal with, but just know that the universe is telling you, you actually have all of the tools that you need to deal with this, and it is time to work on it, because it is time for you to come into this Empress energy. Saturn is in Capricorn. I got a video on that somewhere too. And we've got to really be putting ourselves into alignment with the things that we're supposed to be doing, building upon the foundations that we're supposed to be in, and, you know, really just walking along the paths that are really set up for us, but, you know, in a positive way. We're not supposed, like I said, to be fighting the funk. And, you know, with all positive things, sometimes you have to go through a little bit of negativity to get through it sometimes, and that's because you have lessons to learn. So, Virgo, work on working through whatever this is, whatever it is that you know that you don't want to deal with, because until you do, you're going to be dealing with this 5 of Wands and 10 of Wands energy, and you don't want that. You guys want to get into this this Empress energy, okay? All right, Virgo, I hope these cards resonated with you. If you have any questions or comments, I just saw the 9 of Wands, which is another Wands card. You guys had all Wands in air, so this is all about, you know, your perspective and your thought process, and physically manifesting your positive thoughts, if that makes sense. And I'm seeing the 9 of Cups. So with that's being look, with that blah 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 blah. Every video, y'all. With that being said, just, you know, you're very close. It's only a 2-week period that this video is for, so it's like it's right around the corner. But you've got some things to work through, but you're almost there. And just understand that the outlook, like the outcome, is positive. You just have to get through whatever it is that you need to work on. Okay, Virgo. All right, y'all. Like I said, I hope these messages resonated with you. If you have any questions or comments, go on and drop them down below. I do check my channel pretty frequently, so I will most likely respond to you. If you feel moved to share the video with somebody, any of your Virgo sun, moon, or rising friends, please feel free to do so. I'm still shocked at how often y'all be really sharing my videos. It's still crazy, the growth on this channel, although it's, you know, slow and steady, to me at least, but I'm not complaining. You know, I still do appreciate it. I appreciate all the love. With that being said, if you made it all the way through, go on and hit that like button, the little thumbs up button, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up with when I put out these tarot videos and this astrology information. And yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see y'all next time.